Grow My Cleaning Company teaches owners of cleaning companies just like you how to grow your company, make more money, and finally take charge of your financial future and your life. This podcast is about automating and creating systems that give you time and money freedom so you can grow like crazy without losing control. Since this is totally free, if you're getting tons of value, want to support us, and make sure that you get more of the good stuff, subscribe, rate, and review to this podcast today. Now, on to the show. Hey, everybody. Glad to have you around. Hello, Amy. Nice to have you. Today, we are going to talk about this infamous, non-existent magic cleaning lead genie or lead fairy that everybody thinks in terms of if I can just give Facebook enough money or Google or Home Advisor, get SEO or whatever the case is, I'll have all the money I need for my leads, which is crazy talk. So we're going to dive in that today. The problem is we are wasting so much money on advertising that never even had a chance to work. But if we don't invest in advertising, we have no chance of scaling our cleaning business. So it can get to be a really prickly pear pretty quick. So we're going to talk about that today. Hey, Jay, Diane Jean from Pennsylvania. Good to have you. So again, the big premise that we're going to blow up today and talk about how to fix it is if we just find the right advertising, we get all the leads I want, right? If I just hire a marketing manager, if I just give, Facebook enough money or whatever the case, the reality is no advertising is going to work ever if you don't understand who your perfect client is. And that's a start, right? A lot of times we'll waste money on, hello, by the way, Alicia and Adam, great to have you from Illinois and New York checking in. That's fantastic. So no advertising is going to work if first and foremost, we don't understand who our ideal client really is. A lot of times we won't know, especially when it comes to one-time clients, is really the trick of it with move in, move out, or construction cleanup. So if we spend a lot of time advertising for the wrong client and it works, we just go out of business faster. So first and foremost, we need to understand who our ideal perfect client is. Once we've got that, we got to understand what they really want, right? It's even if Facebook can't give us the messaging. So no matter how many times they put our message out, if our message is boring or not of interest to our perfect client, it's not going to do any good. So we have to understand who they are, what they want, and then, hey, Amy's in the house. That's one of Natalie's
hey, Amy.
clients. Good to have you on, sister. We've got to really understand. So once we understand who they are and what they want, the trick is, and a lot of people fall down here because you think it'd be easy, but it's trickier than it sounds, is you've got to be able to communicate that pain to them better than your competitor, certainly, and ideally better than they can even articulate it themselves, right? So you can say stuff and it makes them go, oh my gosh, how did they get me? That's exactly right. And then once we've got that, TJ in the house, okay, we got all the good Clean Nation folks are here. So excited to have you guys. So once we've understood who our client is and who the ideal client is, so we're not chasing after the wrong guy, what they want, how to articulate that for them, then and only then do we look for where do they go to solve that problem, right? But we all do it in reverse. We go, where can I put my money that will get people to come? But without knowing who they are, what they want, or how to communicate it with them, the truth of the matter is there's nowhere you can put your boring message that they're not interested in that's going to work. So the next thing is, a lot of us believe we got to beat the streets and chase our clients and beg and plead and compete with a bunch of lowball bidders that charge crazy prices. The reality is it is a fool's errand to try and convince the wrong people that don't want what you have to kind of act right. Right. If you really want to get the people, you need to put out bait that attracts the right customer. So if I wanted broke people that didn't want to invest in themselves, instead of Grow My Cleaning Company, it might be called, Get Rich Quick Cleaning Company for brokefolks.com. And I guarantee if I put that thing out, we'd have a ton of traffic, right? Everybody'd want to be a part of that. Hey, Joe Lou's in the house. Good to have you, man. I think you were on today with Natalie. So congrats, man. So glad to see you jumping in. Anyway, I could have that out and get a lot of people to show up, but none of those people are going to be who I want. So what we need to understand is the truth of the matter is we don't beat the streets. We, instead of trying to convince the wrong people to act right, you want to put out the right bait and the right place that attracts the right customer to come to you as opposed to you chasing. Natalie, you've got to have some sort of feedback by now. Talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of the times we spend a lot of time and energy and effort trying to change the minds of the people that just come to us. for them to value what we have to offer. So, how do I get people to understand my pricing, or how do I compete with the lowball bidders? And it's like, no, you don't understand. You don't want to go out there and try to change the minds and hearts of all of the people that come to you, no matter who they are, where they're from. That's a fool's errand. But being able to find people who are already appreciative of your business and then solidifying that in their mind of your value and your worth is a lot easier, and certainly is going to feel a lot better for you when you're charging fair prices for your business.
Preach it, sister. And we got Jason Johnson from Alaska. So good to see you, buddy. I think you guys, it looks like everybody was on with Natalie and just couldn't get enough of of us yakking and decided you want more. So the next piece that I want to jump in and make sure that you get is a belief system, a philosophy that's going to cost us a lot of time and money and heartache and headache is that, I'm in the cleaning business. I'm really good at getting cleaning or cleaning whatever it is I clean, homes or businesses. My marketing company, so it's up to them to get me leads. The reality is you are actually first and foremost in the business of getting the right customers to come to you for help, not in cleaning. I hate to break it to y'all out there. Cleaning is a low value job. You can get someone, thousands and dozens of people for 10 to 15 bucks an hour to get all the cleaners in the world that you want. You can, Jennifer says she's having this problem right now with the 2 bids that you have out. You are in the right place, sister. Hopefully we can bring you some value right now. So all that to say, getting people to clean stuff, low value. Hey, Peggy, good to have you. Managing people or managing teams of cleaners, that might be a $30 or $40 or maybe even $50,000 a year job. So all the cleaning based stuff is low wage. The high dollar stuff is attracting the right customers to come to us, right? So if you want to make a little bit of money, clean. If you want to make a little bit more money, manage cleaners to clean for you. If you really want to make money, attract clients to your cleaning business. That's why franchises do so well and why so many people jump in on that. They'll charge you a couple $1,000 to get the accounts and then 10, 20% every freaking month to keep doing it. And they make all the money and you do all the work, right? So and you can do that if you like cleaning and don't like money, that's for you. But if you really want to make some money, you are going to get to be an expert at client attraction as opposed to an expert in cleaning. So get out of the cleaning business, which is low pay, and into the client attraction business for your cleaning company that is high pay. Preach. TJ says we are in the customer and talent acquisition business. He nailed it, because in addition to getting customers, getting talent is really the key, and those are both high wage jobs that we want to do. All right, so the reality is another belief, and I'm just trying to knock down a bunch of beliefs because I talk to you guys all day, every day, and I just make lists of stuff that you say that pisses me off. I'm like, I'm going to get on rant on Facebook about this, and then we'll show them. So I just got a bunch of junk that's costing you money and holding you back that I want to blow up on our time here. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, I got screwed I tried Facebook advertising. It doesn't work. I tried direct mail. It doesn't work. I tried a funnel. It doesn't work. Fill in the blank, whatever it is that you tried. The thing that people say to me is, I spent X amount of money on Y media and it didn't work. Hey, Ralph and Gina, good to have y'all. I never can tell who it is, Ralph or Gina or both of you. Hello and welcome. Glad to have you. So just because you tried spending a couple $100 or a couple $1,000 on a thing and it doesn't work, that is a false message, a false narrative that's going to cost you money. The truth of the matter is you put out a message, it wasn't compelling, and or you put it in a place your ideal customer doesn't go, right? So Facebook's great, I promise you, because it's such a overwhelmingly, I think there's 1 billion people on Facebook a day. So whoever your customer is, the odds are they're on Facebook. 1 in 6 human beings on the face of this earth are on Facebook. And it's higher than that if we just count Americans, if you happen to be in America with us. Hey, this is the first time we've had nobody check in from UK or from New Zealand. I don't know, maybe just the morning ones, I guess the Europeans are in bed. So sorry, Europeans, we're hanging out with our American friends. But the reality is it's kind of the opposite of the first thing we started with, right? There's that belief like, oh, if I just find the right Genie, the right advertiser, the right marketing company, and they all want to tell you, give me money, we'll fix everything, your life will be great. We want to believe that because it's such a compelling offer. Like this magic Genie will just crank out all the leads and all we have to do is clean. Well, wouldn't that be delightful? Well, the opposite of that is If you put money into something and it didn't work, well, they screwed you. That's not the truth. The reality is right in the middle. It is your job to understand who your customer is, what message is compelling to make them to act, how to solve their problem, put it where they go. So if something didn't work, Facebook, direct mail, fill in the blank, whatever Genie, magic Genie we're investing in today, if that didn't work for you, it's not because the Genie was broken. It's more likely you didn't know what to say or who you were saying it to. Natalie, tell the world how right I am while I relax.
No, I totally agree. I think
I knew it.
And this is one of the very few times I will agree with you.
That's really why I have Natalie on here, just so I can make her agree on video. So I've got video evidence of this. So everybody be quiet. Natalie's going to agree with me.
And there's a lot of analogies to use, right? Like you could go with like the dating analogy. If you are looking for singles, you're typically not going to find them at wedding venues, or you're not going to find them at marriage.
Well, at least not on stage at the wedding venue.
Right.
Hopefully.
Yeah. You got to, fish with the right bait in the right location. So if you're, fishing for trout, you're going to find them in a lake. You're not necessarily going to find them out in the ocean. If you want a specific type of fish, you got to use a specific type of bait. So if your current bait is, I'll take anybody with a pulse and a dirty house.
That doesn't work for dating or attracting clients, by the way. I'll take anyone with a pulse.
No,
just saying.
It does not. You're likely going, and you're like, I will beat anybody's price. Well, guess who you're going to attract? You're going to attract anybody that is really looking for the cheapest bid and likely doesn't appreciate your services. They're lazy. They don't want to clean their house and they just want somebody to do it for a nickel.
Groupon, by the way, is a great, you said something. Groupon is a perfect example of that. They were huge for like 12 seconds. Everybody jumped on the Groupon thing. The problem is when you offer super cheap, discounted one-time cleaning with no other context around it, guess who you're going to get? All the people looking for a super cheap deal. And then everyone was shocked. Well, how come they didn't sign up for what I wanted them to sign up? Well, because you're fishing in the wrong ocean with the wrong bait. The ocean was Groupon, which is a discount provider, and your bait was super discounts. And then you were shocked when everybody that came in wanted something for nothing. Go ahead, baby. I didn't mean to jump in.
No, that's absolutely right. And so I think that's kind of a big misconception. And I don't want it to confuse it with offers that you can offer to entice people to start in, right? Like there's always offers that you can do to entice people, but where you're shopping and the messaging that you're using is super key. So there's kind of like that balance between offers and enticement to get people to sign up with you and the type of people that you're attracting.
Preach it. And hello, Marina. So glad to have our favorite Estonian, I think. My favorite accent for sure, but good to have you, sister. And as soon as I say we've got no one from overseas, Iliara puts me right in my place from Sydney. So glad that we got the Aussies in the house. I can't sleep at night if we do a live without getting someone from the UK or Australia, New Zealand, any one of you guys on. So glad to have you all here. All right, so we are going to just keep dropping, I hate saying dropping truth bombs because anyone that ever says that usually is saying something rude and stupid. And that may be me, but we will continue. One of my favorite things I want to blow up kind of in this universe is that feeling of I have no control. The only people that call me, a lot of people will, I'll be coaching and they'll say, well, the only people that call me are broke people. The only people that call me are move in, move out. Or the only people that call me are, and they explain how they're terrible, how they're attracting terrible people. And they just feel like that's all that's out there. And since Natalie started the dating theme, and I think we got like 3 or 4 LOLs, we'll keep that party going. Oh, yay. TK, Thomas and Kristen in the house. Love you guys. I'm telling you, just on a stupid random note, we had that last live event, and without you guys, it was 12.5% not as cool. And there was like literally 4 times I was like, where is Thomas and Kristen? I'm so sad. Not in front of the group, but in the car with Natalie on the way to or from. How we missed you guys. And so true.
They were still awesome. They weren't.
If anyone ever has a chance to reach out to Tomas and his bride, Kristen. I'm trying to think of what their website is. So anyway, we'll pitch them later. They're the best. If you ever have an opportunity to talk to them, they're so cool. So yeah, back to the dating analogy with everyone that shows up is broke or whatever, whatever my customers all suck. Like it's just this thing that happens. That is exactly that. I live in Scottsdale, and there are lots and lots of people in Scottsdale on the female side that I don't want all the angry emails. I'm just saying here in our town, there are a lot of ladies that are interested in, money, right? Like it is what it is. That's just how it goes. And not all, but a lot of my friends would go, everyone I date, they're all gold diggers. They want blah, blah, blah. Just complain. And before I met the lovely Natalie, who was not a gold digger and an amazing human being, I dated some really high caliber women. And it's like, well, how come in the same dating pool, I'm dating this type of woman that's not, I wouldn't say gold, they're just nice human beings. And these other ones are like, oh, they're all superficial and this and that and the other. Well, it was the way that I comported myself, right? I would maybe find a date at church, or the way that I would act even if I wasn't at church. I would attract the types of ladies that weren't interested in money and superficial stuff. And if you act a different way, you're going to attract different things. So it's the same with our company. The guys that I talk to, they can keep complaining there are no good women out there and not take no responsibility and feel good, but they're going to end up single. In your company, you can keep complaining there are no good customers out there and feel good about yourself because it's the world's fault, not yours, and end up broke. So the reality is every single person that has ever called you or ever will call you is a result of something you did. It is up to you to attract, not chase, the right people. And whatever you're doing, if you're not getting the caliber of client or prospect that you want, do something different. We don't blame the universe or the world for bringing us terrible people. We look at what we're doing and we can change and we fix it. Amy says, I'm finding word of mouth is best. That's how my business is growing. I'm so glad that you said that, Amy, because I got to say, word of mouth is one of my favorite, if not my favorite, ways of attracting clients, but it has its limitations. A lot of people miss that, right? A lot of people say, they proudly tell me, I've only grown my business with their word of mouth. Well, that's great, but it is not scalable. So if you just like a little business, that's a couple $100,000 a year. That's great. Maybe on the commercial side, you might even be able to get up to $500,000, maybe even $1 million, but you can't. Dina in the house. Good to see you, young lady. There's going to be a cap of how big you can scale with word of mouth. And also it's not scalable or repeatable or dependable. Maybe this month, a ton of word of mouth folks come in, and maybe next month, none come in. So no matter how good a lead source is, and word of mouth is an excellent lead source, but no matter how good it is, one lead source is always trouble, right? If you just have one customer that pays you $100,000 a month, that's great until they quit. Right? If you just have one lead source that grows great, it's great until it stops growing. So no matter how good of a lead source you have, including word of mouth, which is great, not knocking it, if that's your only lead source, you don't have a company, you have a bunch of hope. So God bless you, Amy. Keep going on the word of mouth, but don't get comfortable and just do that, because you don't have a business. You have hope until that thing cuts out. Okay. The next thing is, okay, it's so funny. I literally had some bullet points I want to talk about. Next bomb I wanted to blow up. You can grow a real company by word of mouth. So it's almost like I planted Amy in there to remind me. Yeah. So what else? So yeah, you need multiple lead sources that are scalable, right? So Facebook, not cheap. You got to be really good at marketing. You got to have your message down, but you can scale the crap out of it. Word of mouth, very cheap. Doesn't cost you anything if you do it right, but sometimes not scalable. Yeah, Amy says, I promote on Facebook too. LOL. Had a girl, Amy.
Good job, Amy.
So again, there is no single magic lead source that's great. They all have their strengths and weaknesses, right? People come to me all the time. What's the best niche for commercial or whatever? And the reality is that there's some strengths and weaknesses to every single niche, right? I love you guys, owners of cleaning companies. I feel like I've got the best niche in the world, but sometimes you tend not to have as much money as I think some other niches I could serve might have. You guys are so amazing. It's totally worth it, but there is no perfect niche. And I feel like I've got the close to as possible a perfect niche with owners of cleaning companies. But anyway, all that to say, same with lead sources. There is no perfect lead source. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. All right, I'm trying to get like bigger and bigger and better as we go. But one of my least favorite, most frustrating belief that's going to absolutely hamstring you in your business is I can't afford advertising. I tried it once and I didn't do it. And I agree. You can't afford to waste money on advertising that doesn't work, but you can't afford not to control the lead flow to your company, right? If we just say, well, sometimes people come in and sometimes they don't. And when they come, maybe we grow. And when they don't, we just stand still. That is a very frustrating and scary way to try to grow a cleaning company. So we need to control our lead sources. And the beautiful thing about advertising is if it's a positive ROI, you have an infinite budget, right? So if your average client's $1,000 a month with $500 of gross margin, and that's every month, so the lifetime value of that customer might be tens of thousands of dollars, and it costs you $500 to get a client, what's your budget for marketing? It's infinite, right? The problem is a lot of people, A, don't know who their perfect client is. B, they don't know what their pain is. C, they don't communicate that pain. They just say crap like call now for a free estimate, which doesn't talk to their pain at all. And D, they don't track. They don't know what's my cost per client acquisition? What's my cost per lead? What's a lifetime value of a customer? So if you don't know your numbers, you can absolutely get your butt kicked with marketing, but that doesn't mean you get to not market. It means you have to step up your game and understand your key metrics. Thomas says, learning your target market and marketing where their eyes are. Perfect prospect surveys. Preach it. Perfect prospect survey is a tool we give for our folks to help them understand their customer's pain. And again, we love our system, but the key is you have a system to understand your customer's pain, right? It doesn't work by osmosis, just by standing near them or hugging them. It doesn't transfer. You've got to actually have a systematic way to extract that pain from them. I have the honor of getting to talk to 5 or 10 owners of cleaning companies every day, all day. So it's pretty easy for me, but you guys are going to have a better system. So again, the belief that you can't afford advertising is full of crap. The reality is, and yes, Dina, Nat she found the Genie image. You didn't make that, did you, baby? You found it online?
Adobe stock.
If by made, you mean Googled Genie image and paid $1 for whatever it costs. And yes, my baby did that. My magic, and Natalie is my tech genie. She magically makes crap happen. So genies do exist, just not client attraction genies. Okay, so again, the reality is it's not that you can't afford advertising. You can't afford to waste money on advertising that doesn't work. But more importantly, you can't afford to let your company just wait and hopefully stuff comes in. You really have to control lead flow to your company, or you're stuck. Another big one is I'm just going to do what my competitors are doing, right? My competitors are here, so I'm going to be there. My competitors are doing this, so I'm going to do that. Well, let me let me give you the ugly truth on that one. I talk to your competitors every day, and they have no idea what they're doing. Not the big ones, not the small ones. They are clueless. So please, please, please listen to good teaching, and people will know what they're talking about. Not try and figure out what your competitors are doing. It's literally the blind leading the blind. They don't know how to price. They don't know how to advertise. They don't know how to attract clients. So just because your competitor is spending a bunch of money on this or that does not mean that works. The only time you might consider that is if you can find a competitor and watch what they've been doing for years and years and years. If like in a magazine or something where you can find a competitor's been running this Facebook ad for the last 6 years unchanged, that's a pretty good indicator that that guy's either insane with a ton of money or that ad is actually working. So if you're going to do and that's only in ads. When it comes to things like, what is my competitors paying? What they do? A lot of times just because they're doing it, they have no freaking idea. So be very, very careful. And well, my competitor does this or do that. All right, last falsehood, and then we're going to talk about what to do. This is one of the ones I would just want to kill people. It's important to get my name out there. I just want to get my name out there. I just want people to know my name. Who cares? A lot of people knowing your name doesn't mean they might hate your guts. We are not Coca-Cola, right? Coca-Cola, Ford, the NFL, they can absolutely spend money to quote unquote get their name out there because they've got hundreds of millions of dollars of budgets to get that done. And they are a brand, right? We are too little and everyone wants to build a brand, and that's fine. TJ says blindfolded monkeys with darts, highly motivated, but very dangerous. That is absolutely your competitors. And again, I talk to them all day, every day. And they, highly motivated. TJ, quit making me laugh when I'm sick, man.
Great, TJ. Now you just killed Mike.
I went down a lot easier than you might have thought. You just got to wait till
all this time. I've been doing it the hard way. I mean, what?
Oh, you're gonna make me cough again. All right, I'm trying to broadcast here without coughing in everybody's ear. So yeah, that whole BS of and again, who's gonna sell you or who's going to be real excited about you spending money to get your name out there is people who take money to get your name out there, right? Because they're not worried about results. They're just worried about you giving them money. So if in a part of a direct response marketing where you can count and track your results, here's how much I paid, here's how many people reached out to me, i.e. added to my list, right? Even if they don't buy, we want an automated marketing system where as our list grows, our reach for the automated marketing system grows, i.e. this podcast, this broadcast, right? I'm going to send it out to thousands and thousands of owners of cleaning companies who all raise their hand and said, I'm interested in what you have, even if they haven't bought anything. So we need to know what our cost per lead is, or our cost per opt-in, what our cost per bid is, our cost per sale, and then of course what the advertising medium that we're using costs. So it's really important to understand. And again, if as we have a positive return on some sort of advertising investment in that doing of it, if we get some brand awareness, that's great. We're not allergic to brand awareness. We don't hate it. We're just not going to pay for it, right? And all these podcasts and YouTube and everything I do, my name's kind of out there. People, if you don't own a cleaning company, you have no clue who I am, which is fine. But if you do own a cleaning company, I don't know, maybe 1 in 3, I have no idea, but there's a good chance you've heard of me. That's brand awareness. Am I happy about it? Absolutely. Would I spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even ones of thousands of dollars to make that happen? No, that's just a great benefit to being a marketer. So we got to make sure that we spend $0 on getting our name out there, and we spend all of our money on trackable results. Because again, we're a little company. We can't afford, like we talked about earlier, to waste money on advertising that doesn't work. And they go, well, we got our name out there, so we're okay. No, we are not. So I know I've been beating you up and I don't want to say making it sound hard, but kind of being real with you, right? If I was just trying to sell you some advertising, like, yeah, just give me money and you'll be great. There's another reality. You've got to really understand who your customer is, why they're a good customer or not, what their pain is, how you can communicate in a way that's compelling and interesting, because the problem is there's so much marketing out there. The competition is massive. So you have to actually be interesting and pique some curiosity while you're speaking their pain. But the good news is once you get this right, you can grow at will. Once you're able to scale, like I'm in a very blessed spot. If I get more people coming in for help than I really have time to give them, and there's no reason you can't do that, right? The only difference is I know who you are and what your pain is, and I'm able to communicate it effectively, in spite of this podcast. Everyone listening going, I don't know if you can, man. Well, trust me, I have my days. So once you get this right, your customer, you will be able to attract leads at will. Your company value, the inherent value of your company goes way up, right? If you try and sell a company where you're doing the cleaning, which is a different topic for a different day, and the leads are quote unquote word of mouth, the value of that company is virtually zero, right? But if you have a company where you're like, here are my 6 lead sources, here's what our cost per lead is per lead source, here's what our cost per sale is, here's the lifetime value of a customer, you can start articulating that kind of data. Your company is worth again, I've sold a couple companies for 7 figures now, and they are, that's what they want. They want culture and something that's cool. They want the numbers, the data, a good P&L, and they want to know exactly where the money's coming from. If you would like to talk to me on how you can have these kinds of systems, processes, and super amazingness in your business, I do that for this community because I love you, and because a lot of people that I talk to fall in love and they want my help and try to throw money at me. So if you would like to have a conversation about where your business is at, where you would like to be, Natalie already put up. You ruined the surprise, Natalie. How dare you? If you really want me to dive in with you on what's working, what's not working, trying to figure out a plan to make sure we get a system to attract clients, as opposed to just throwing money at this advertising that doesn't work and throwing money at that advertising that doesn't work, and then giving up altogether because we ran out of money to throw at things, go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk right now. Book a time. Believe it or not, a third of the people I do is like, I thought you were gonna have somebody else. I didn't know you were gonna talk to me. I do talk to you guys. I'm an absolute nut job, and I love owners of cleaning companies. And I'm too lazy to hire someone else to have these conversations to coach you. So you're stuck with me. If you go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk, go sooner than later because I do them myself, and I only have a couple slots per day because I have other things to do. They get taken up pretty quick. So if that's what you want to do it sooner than later so you don't miss out. TJ says, other than trial and error, how do you go about learning what works best on, say, Facebook versus Google once we understand? Oh, this is such a good question, TJ. This is why I keep you around, buddy. So what he's saying is, other than trial and error, how do we go about what works best? There's 2 answers to that. First and foremost, follow a system. So you've got to make sure, again, the real formula is, who is my customer? What is their pain? How do I communicate to them? Where do they go to solve it? So if you have that, which is huge, that's 80% of it. If you don't have that, doesn't matter. It's not going to work. So you can try all you want. Once you have that, then it is trial and error, believe it or not. Then you do have to test. So what he says is, what appeals to our customer on Facebook doesn't always translate directly to Google ad. I would disagree with that, TJ. The message that appeals on direct mail is, I have the exact same message of pain for you guys, whether it's on a live broadcast, my podcast, a conversation I have in a coffee shop, if I'm on stage, the message is always the same. So certainly Google AdWords might say, you've got this much space and it looks like this and the format's here, and direct mail, I've got a whole postcard. So we might have to condense or have the ability to expand the message depending on the format. But honest to goodness, TJ, the message does not change the same, or it does not change the same. It does not change. It stays the same. My pain is the same. If you guys want to grow your cleaning company, it's not like if the people that show up on YouTube want to grow their cleaning company this way, but the people on Facebook that way. So the pain is the same. What you're going to use to appeal is the same. The way that you do it and execute might vary a little bit. I'm not saying it's going to be identical, but stick with the basics, man. And he says Facebook seems to be geared more for conversation, where Google is quick, instant gratification. I do have thoughts. Any thoughts? Like there's everybody in the universe. I didn't have thoughts, TJ. How dare you? He's new here, guys. So that's a perfect example of how the execution or some of the nuance might change, but the big concept is exactly the same. So Facebook is a conversation, right? I'm not on there looking to solve a problem. I'm on there looking to, get pictures of some stupid event I went to last week or event I held last week or whatever, right? It's usually pictures of friends or whatever. Or for me, it's, a lot of the groups I'm in, I'm trying to connect with those folks. So if there's a picture that catches my eye, I might check it. And if it's a very strong funnel, they'll be able to get me out of looking for pictures of my event or whatever I was looking for and kind of help me understand something else. So you got to go a little slower. I guess it's the difference between if I am at the grocery store at the gym and I'm single and I want to talk to a gal, I'm going to have to go slower because she's not there to look for a date. She's there to look for avocados. And, I'm maybe not as appealing to her as an avocado at that moment, depending on the avocado and if I've showered recently. However, if I go to, I made Natalie laugh, which if I can do that, I'm good. However, if I go to like match.com or something, well, those people are going there to hopefully find a date, right? Hopefully I'm not going to find a lot of married people on there or people that aren't looking for a relationship. So when someone searches, best cleaning company in Phoenix on Google, that's good intent, right? That's more of a match.com thing. If I find somebody at the supermarket, they're looking for something different. I have to have a different approach. But the pain that we're speaking to and what they're looking for, if the person I'm looking for, they're looking for a connection. They're looking for long-term relationships. They're looking to, what they're looking for and how I'm going to communicate it to them is going to be pretty similar, right? So that would be my best. And Diane gave me 3 smiley faces or cry faces or laughy faces. I'm old and they're small, so I don't know. Hopefully, I'm going to just tell myself they're laughy, happy faces. So thank you, Diane, for the 3 happy, laughy faces that my old man eyes can't see. All right, we have been yes, avocado in a shower. That's my dating tips for the day, fellas. Avocado in a shower, you're good to go. And look at me and look at Natalie, so I know what I'm talking about, for crying out loud. All right, I have annoyed the crap out of everybody and ranted for a half hour. I'm done. Natalie, I'm going to let you say what you want to say, and then I'm going to end the broadcast. Go for it, sister.
I just think you guys are all amazing and smart and incredibly resourceful people. And I think if you just really think about who you really want to serve, who you really want to clean, and find out what their true pain is, you can absolutely supercharge your marketing. And, marketing is only expensive if it doesn't have a return. So get out there, ask questions, find out who your ideal person is, find out what their real pain is, and use that in your marketing. And you will see a huge difference and shift in the quality and caliber of clients that are coming to you.
It's bad enough she's better looking than I am. She's got to be smarter too. Welcome to my world, fellas. All right, great hanging out, D-Cleaning Nation. Can't wait to see you again soon. Have a great afternoon. Talk in a couple days. Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you're fired up, ready to grow, and want to see if you have what it takes to work with us at Grow My Cleaning Company, here's what I want you to do right now. Go to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk. That's growmycleaningcompany.com/talk to book an appointment to speak with me personally. I'm going to jump on the phone with you to get you crystal clear on where you are now, where you want to be, and how to get you there. Don't walk around in the dark any longer. If you are serious about growing your cleaning company, it's time to finally get the systems in place that you need to grow. We've helped hundreds of owners of cleaning companies not only grow their business and their personal freedom, but give back to their community as well. If that's what you're looking for, head over to growmycleaningcompany.com/talk and book a time to talk with me personally. I can't wait to get to know you and your business.